Hello, what's up guys? This is Ravindra Kanetkar and I welcome you all to the 8th part of the series of videos where we are going to create an e-commerce website fully from scratch. So far up to the previous video, we were able to display all the products in our order list page where a particular user, obviously, where user has added to his cart. And in this video, we will be focusing on payment integration using Razorpay. So without further wasting any time, let's get started. But before that, if you haven't subscribed my channel and if you liked all this previous videos, then do subscribe my channel, like this video and share to your friends. Okay, so let's get started. Now as you can see here, we have all the orders in our order list page that a particular user or a particular customer has added to his cart. And when we click on checkout, nothing will happen. That's what its code we are going to do in this video. We are going to write its backend. Now you need to set up just few things. I am just closing the server. Okay, now you need to install the one package is there, Django countries. Now what I am going to do in this video, I am going to tell you, right? Okay, so if user clicks on this checkout process, okay, it's checkout process and checkout button, sorry, not checkout process. If you have gone through all my previous videos, we haven't taken checkout address of particular customer in our database, right? We are not storing any address or all this kind of things. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now here is when the user or customer clicks on checkout button, he will be directed to the checkout address page first. So he will be prompted to input all his address details, and then after clicking on proceeding, we will be storing all his checkout address in the database, and after that we will pass him to the payment page. And if he already has set up his checkout address process, then he will be directly redirected to the payment page. That's what we are going to do in this video. Okay, so we will be accepting country from the user, so that's why we are installing one package which is pip install Django countries is there. I have already installed, that's why in your case it may take some time. Okay, so what Django countries actually does, it helps us in creating or in accepting country input, okay, like a drop down menu. I will run my server. Let's start from our models.py file. For the time being concerned, I have already written this, so I am just going to explain you all these things. Okay, so I have created one checkout address model, one table, okay, with some attributes. So we will be storing a checkout address for a particular user. Okay, so one attribute user will be there, and which we are taking foreign key to the user model, which is there by default in Django, and we are writing on delete models.cascade. What it means actually, when a user is deleted, then the checkout address related to that particular user will also be deleted. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, if user is only not there, then why we should store this checkout address? Okay, then we will store street address, then apartment address, then we will store country, which is a country field, as we have installed the Django countries, which allows us country field with multiple equal to false. So that means the user can't select more than 2 countries, right? He have to more than 1 country, sorry. Okay, and we will have zip code, which is a character field of maximum length 100. Actually that doesn't matter, we can store like 10. Okay, not 10, let's suppose 15, that's okay. And we are just redefining the string method underscore str, and we were just returning self.user.username. This is basically the display to the admin panel, right? Now let's migrate the model that we have created. So let's run that 2 commands, python manage.py make migrations, and the second command is python manage.py migrate, right? So it will create or apply all the queries. And now what we need to do, we can run our server. Okay, before that you have to add the checkout address model in your admin.py also, so that it will be shown up here, as we have added this models already. So you have to add admin.site.register checkout address, as I have added earlier. Okay, I am closing this one. Now once you created, let's go to the admin panel, how it looks actually. Let's see that. So localhost, I logged in as admin only, so it will directly open the admin panel. As you can see here, I have checkout addresses. It may be checkout addresses, means lot of addresses must be there, and when we hit on this add checkout address, it is asking for user, which is a drop down menu, which is, that's why we have written foreign key for that. Okay, so we can select from these things. Then we have street address, apartment address, and when we click on this country, as you can see here, we have lot of countries, which is because of that Django countries package, and we have zip code here, and when we save, the checkout address will be saved, right? But that's, we don't want this from admin panel, from the user to be go into admin panel and input all these things. Okay, so for that we will going to create one form. Okay, let's go to the forms, and I have created one checkout form. Okay, as you can see here. Okay, so I have created one checkout form which takes some parameters which is exactly equal to the parameters or attributes that are in models. Okay, that checkout address model. Okay, so we have street address, apartment address, country, and zip code. User will also, definitely will also be not there, because it's he must be logged in, so that's why we are storing his checkout address. Okay, so we will take 4 parameters. One is street address, apartment address, country, and zip. So forms dot character field, in the product form that we have created, we just wanted to take all the fields which were there. So as you can write this checkout form like this one that we have written. So, and this is another way of doing that. Okay, so forms dot character field, we can explicitly mention these things. So widget is equal to form the text input, attributes are this and this. Why I have given this form control and all these things, because what I am going to do in the templates dot file, let's go to templates folder. In the core folder, I have created a product description HTML page. So I am just deleting this, so you can very much get that thing. Okay, so just I am going to copy the login.html page, or same page that we have created earlier for the form inputting method. Okay, so we were inputting a login and registration pages. So I am just copying this only, and let's name it as suppose checkout page, right? Checkout address page. And yes, we can say, hey, we can see that these things later on. So let's close this one for now. That's why I have given this form control. Okay, so what we need to do now, let's close all these things, and let's go to the urls.py file. We will set up one URL for checkout page. So path will be checkout page, right? So path will be checkout page, which has views.checkout page, and name equal to checkout page. Now let's write this checkout page view. Now let's close this thing, go to the views.py file, and I have written the checkout page function. So what we are doing, basically we will check if checkout address, the models in which we are storing data of a customer or address of a customer, we will check if a checkout address objects has the data of particular user or not. Okay, so the user who is currently logged in, we will check if he has stored his checkout address in checkout model or not. If he has stored all these details, then we will simply redirect him to the payment page. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are returning with render the checkout.html page with payment allow equal to allow. I will show you why I have written this thing. Okay, so payment allow equal to allow. So what we can say here, the user hasn't filled this checkout address form. Then we will see if request.method equal to post or not. Then we will grab the the data from the form that user has submitted, and we will check if the form is valid. Then we will get all the details like street address, apartment address, country, zip, right? Country is obviously form.clean data, all these things we have done all these things earlier, right? Then we are storing this address. So checkout address equal to checkout address, with user equal to request.user, street address equal to street address, apartment, country, zip, right? And we are just saving the checkout address save. One thing that you can do here in the models.py file, you can save checkout address in order also, right? So you can do it like this. So checkout address equal to models dot foreign key. So we have checkout address here, so you can use this thing also. So for now I am not going to do this, but in the further videos I will explain you this, how to do this, right? So in the views.py file I will just save the checkout address, and then we will print. It should render the I have just printed for checking if everything works fine or not, and we will return rendering the checkout.html page with payment allow equal to allow. And if that object does not exist, what we are doing, if request is not equal to if form is not valid actually, then we will check message, we will fail checkout, and we will redirect to the checkout page. Okay, that's what we want. And if request.method is not equal to post, then we will simply render the form in the HTML page. That's what I have done here. Now let's go to the HTML page here. Where is that? So product description HTML, and here we will apply the messages. So instead of login, we will have checkout address, then this form equal to method equal to post. So we don't want all these things. So what I am going to do, just remove this p tag register here, we don't want that. Okay, so CSRF token, we want this div. Let's remove all these things. Let's remove all these things, and we will simply write form here. The variable, the what we can say, the context dictionary that we have passed, we need to grab this value. So we can grab this value by writing the form here in the template tagging method. Now let's see if everything works fine or not. Before that, we need to give the URL product description page, right? So let's go to the product description page, this checkout page. That's what we want here. So where is that URL? So I think checkout page was same as the URL name, and we need to give this in the order list page, right? So here, where is the checkout? It must be down, it must be at bottom actually. Okay, so checkout here what we need to do, we will pass the URL like this. So URL, and here we will pass checkout page. Done. And let's see if it works or not. Okay, let's go to the home page, then cart. When we click on checkout, template does not exist. Why? Checkout.html. Okay. We have product description.html, so product desc.html, but we are just rendering the checkout.html, so we don't want this. So we will render product. Okay, why we are in product description? Oh, we have made a mistake. Okay, so what I have done here, in place of this product description page, that was this. Let's go to the product description page. When we click on view more, it is giving me this. So instead of this, we have changed the product description page, which was not there. I will fix this, don't worry about this. We have covered basically all. You don't have to do this that I have done earlier. Okay, now which was the HTML page? It was there, checkout address. Okay, so checkout address was the HTML page, and let's delete all these things and paste the code that I have done. I am sorry for this. Okay, so I have just used form here, and okay, so name will be equal to not login, we checkout, then ID will be also equal to checkout, CKOUT, then value will be equal to checkout, right? Then we can write submit also, that doesn't matter actually. And what we need to do now, we will pass the checkout address HTML page, right? So in the views.py file we will pass checkout address, right? Similarly here we need to pass checkout address. Okay, so where we were doing this above, here also we need to do checkout address.html. Now everything will work fine, should work fine. So let's go to the cart, and when we click on this checkout, why it is giving me error? Okay, so we need to add /. Similarly, it is under core folder, right? So that's why we need to add /. Now it should work. Let's reload this. Okay, so it is asking for street address, which is let's suppose test anything, apartment address, which is equal to, suppose let's go 1 2 3 4 testing. Country, which is asking for selection, so we will select India. Zip code, which is equal to suppose 444111, anything, 6 digit zip code. And when we click on checkout, object does not exist, error. We can remove that object does not exist, except we can do this, right? Except exception as E. And let's see if this thing works or not. Let's reload this. Okay, so reverse for checkout not found. Checkout is not a valid view function or pattern name. Okay, so we were returning to checkout. Okay, I think checkout page was the URL. Here we need to add that URL name. That's why it was not working. Redirect to the checkout page. Similarly, I think we don't have to change it on any side. Let's continue it. Okay, so failed checkout. It must have some error, that's why it is giving me the message failed checkout. Address is also not stored. Okay, let's try to add another field. So testing India 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's go to checkout failed, but why? Okay, so what I have done here, I have removed the try and checkout. So let's hit reload. Okay, so 1 2 3, let's suppose testing. I am currently logged in as the admin, so it must save the data in the admin section only. So user will be selected as admin, which is me. Okay, when we hit checkout, zip unexpected. Okay, so as you can see here in the post, we have a middleware token, street address, apartment address. So it has taken that thing. So zip is invalid. So why it has taken the invalid zip? Okay, which error is giving this? You got an unexpected argument. Maybe this is the function. Okay, it is a predefined function. That's why what we need to do, we can rename it as zip code or like that. Okay, so zip code, here we can say zip code. Actually zip is a function, and in Python you can't name a variable its function name of any function name, right? Now it should work properly. Okay, let's hit reload. In the models.py file, what we were storing, actually zip code was there. Okay, so zip code was there and we were storing like and we are just saving in the zip format, right? So we are storing, initializing the variable zip only. So here we have to write zip code only. Now the error should be resolved. It should resolve, yeah. Okay, so checkout address, and we are just writing checkout. Okay, so only one button came here, and here what we can say in the checkout page. Okay, as you can see here, data is stored here with I was logged in and I stored the address as an admin. The street address was testing, country was India, which it has detected that thing. Okay, and zip code was 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so data is stored successfully. Not what we want. if a data is stored, if I have I am logging as admin and I have already stored my data of my address, then I should be directly redirected to the payment page, skipping the middle process, right, that of filling the form of checkout address. Okay, now the purpose that I have written this in the, where is that, so I pass this payment allow option, allow, because in the checkout address HTML page here what we were doing, we were just dealing with the forms and all these things. What we can do here, we can pass these messages also at the upper part above the checkout address h1 tag. We will see if payment allow. Okay, here how to grab that, where is the, okay, so in the views.py file we have payment allow. So what we can say, if payment allow equal to allow, you can give number also, I think this should work. Okay, so if payment allow equal to allow, if this thing is there, then we will write some code that I am going to show you in couple of seconds. Else we will write this, right? So else we will write, if payment allow is not equal to allow, then we will simply in the else block we will pass this form, which is basically the form of address, and we will end our if here in the div section. So above this, here above, below the form tag, right? So here what we can say, end if, right? Okay, so what we can do here, in the, we can pass the value submit, of course, or anchor tag. We can say similarly add anchor tag. So anchor tag we can say, and here we will pass the URL for that payment page to go to payment page directly, right? And I can add its class as here, just like the button which we had for the submit button. I will just copy this and just paste inside the class section. So we will have the same design of anchor tag also, and we can say go to payment page, right? Go for payment, we can say, either say this, or you can write anything. So this should work actually. So what we were doing, we will go to order list page, which is cart, and when we click on checkout, okay, else did you forget to load this tag? I haven't written the percent symbol here. Okay, so my syntax was not correct. Okay, now this should work. When we hit reload, go for payment, and when we click on go for payment, as you can see here, it worked actually. It worked. Let's go to the views.py file. We were just checking if a user has checkout address data stored or not. If the data is stored, we were just allowing him to for payment page, and that's what we want. So we will have one page here, go for one button here, or anchor tag, or link here for going for payment page, and when he hits on that payment, he will be directed to the payment page that we will going to build in couple of minutes, right? So this is how we have written. Okay, now let's go. Now let's check if this works for other users also. So I am going to log out here and just log in from the test user that we have created earlier. Test user has some orders. When he hits on checkout address, what will happen? He hasn't filled the checkout address form, so he will get one checkout address form where he will fill, suppose my address is my apartment address is 1990, suppose 1010, let's suppose testing India. Okay, so we were taking India, so let's go to the India zip code. Let's suppose 14944944949. You can say, you can do it anything, and when we hits on checkout, the data should be stored and go for payment. Okay, so he should be directed to the payment page. That's what we want. And let's see the data is stored or not. Okay, so obviously we have to log in by admin account only. Okay, so as you can see here, the test object is created and the address is stored successfully. Okay, so we have covered first part of this video. Okay, so our next step is for payment integration method mode, right, which is of Razorpay. So for that, let's go to the Razorpay, click on that first link which is there, dashboard.razorpay.com. I have already logged in. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just log out from here. Now what you need to do here, you have to just sign up by normal sign up procedure which is there. You can also sign up from Google or anything like that, log in with Google and all these things. Okay, so do the normal registration of in the Razorpay. Then I have already done it, so I'm not going to do it again. Okay, I'm just logging in by my account. So we will do this in test folder, right, in test mode. We are not actually deploying or using this in the real case scenarios. So we will use in the test mode. So make sure that this test mode is selected. So what he is giving me message that all the transactions done in test mode are sample transactions and there will not be any real money debited and credited in your account. That's what we want here. And we will go to documentation, just open in the another tab. It is we will click for quick payment, quick integration. Okay, so it is giving us one message, pay button. This pay button is auto created, it cannot be customized. For example, you cannot change its font or background color. You can create and customize the pay button as okay, standard quick integration and standard integration is there. Okay, so create prerequisites, create a Razorpay account that we have created earlier, generate test API keys. Okay, so he is going for test mode. In the settings, actually he has that things in the settings. Okay, so in the settings you are in test mode, so only test data is shown. We will have one API key. Okay, so we will regenerate the API key. We will deactivate the old key, we don't want that thing. Okay, so key ID and key secret. Now you have to copy this API key actually in your, instead of this Razorpay ID here. So Razorpay ID will be that ID, and similarly your Razor secret is your Razorpay secret. I am sorry for my mistake, I have told you earlier. So you have to copy these things in your you can download this key details also. And okay, so API keys is created. Now it is asking for integration, so create an order from your server. So that we will going to create soon. Then we will have pass order ID and other options to the checkout, then store the fields in your database, verify the signature. Okay, so it is giving me we are looking for Python. Okay, so what he is asking for, let me make it bigger for you. So we will have order amount, which is any order amount that a user has. Then he will have currency, then order receipt, then notes. Okay, so notes are all these things, and we will just write client.order.create and order will be created, and order ID is referred as order ID generated on the successful creation of an order. You should store this order ID in your system against the order. Okay, so parameters are there, we will see this. Okay, so second step is we will do the first step. Okay, so what we need to do, let's close these things. Okay, so we need to set up one URL here. So I have created one URL which is of payment path. So views name equal to payment, views.payment we will call. Okay, so we have to write its function also. So let's go to the views.py file and let's go to the bottom here. I have written one payment. See, there is lot of messy things when you are integrating this big it takes lot of time. Okay, so for the time being concerned, for saving the time, I have written this. Okay, so I am just going to explain you. So what we will going to have in the, we will, as the documentation is saying that we have to create one just like this order. So we need to pass this into our orders URL here. We need to post this request to the order, right? So what we need to do here, we will take the order of that user. So order.objects.get user equal to request.user and ordered is equal to false. We have done this several times, so there should not be any problem for you. here, then we will take its address. Okay, so remember we were storing the address of the user, so we will get by the user equal to request dot user, then we will have order amount, which is order dot get total price. So we will call that get total price function, so it will return the total value of all the products, right? We will have currency, in this case we are taking just Indian rupees. Then we will have order receipt, which is equal to order ID actually. Okay, so we were storing order ID, remember, in the order model. We were just grabbing the order ID from the order model, right? The order object that we have created, right? Then we will have nodes, which has some we will give address to that. So address dot street address, apartment address equal to address dot, which is a dictionary actually. Nodes is basically extra data to be passed in the for the payment page actually. Okay, so then we will have Razorpay order equal to Razorpay client dot order dot create. We did earlier. Before that, what we need to do, we need to install that Razorpay package actually. So pip install Razorpay. Okay, you need to install this before you use this. Okay, it will take some time, it will install all the dependencies. Okay, so it is created, it is installed actually. And what we need to do here, we will import first. Let's go to the top, and I have imported Razorpay, and we will initialize the client variable. So Razorpay client equal to Razorpay dot client. I think it has given us, before. So this is the thing that you have to do. So we will initialize Razorpay client equal to Razorpay dot client, which is a function here. We need to pass the ID, that is your secret ID, and and your ID from the settings.py file here, right? So we will call settings.razorpay ID and settings.razorpay secret, and it is giving me settings is not defined, sorry for that. Okay, so we will import settings, so we will just call that. Okay, so Razorpay ID, Razorpay secret, it is not there. Why? Let's try, let's create this variables in uppercase only. So Razorpay ID equal to this, and Razorpay secret equal to this. Now let's try to access them. Okay, so I have imported from django.conf import settings, and we will access the settings by Razorpay ID, and the secret will be Razorpay secret. Now this should work. Okay, so server is running basically, and let's come to the bottom here first. I think I need to explain you all the things again. Okay, so we have created Razorpay order, and we will call that object that we have created. So Razorpay client dot order dot create. So we will create as they have instructed us in the documentation. So we have to create one order here. So we are creating order with we are passing dictionary like this. So amount will be equal to as they have given. So amount should be order amount, currency, then receipt, and then notes. Okay, so we are just taking the notes as a dictionary format. Okay, then we will store the amount equal to order amount, which we stored here, which we were getting from the by calling the get total price function, into 100. So why we have multiplied the order amount by 100 is basically Razorpay treats is its value, or its what we can say, the amount as in paise, right, in paisa, right, and 100 paise is equal to 1 rupees. That's why we need to multiply by 100 to get into rupees, or to convert into rupees. Okay, that's why we were doing into multiply by 100. Okay, I will explain you this further also, so don't worry about this. Then we will pass currency equal to order currency, which is this Indian rupees. Okay, then the receipt is order receipt, which is basically the ID, right, order ID. Then we will pass notes, which is basically extra data, and we will have payment capture equal to 0. Okay, so we will see this first. Then we are just printing the Razorpay order ID for just checking or confirmation of we have done everything correct or not. And we will initialize the order dot Razorpay id equal to Razorpay id. That remember, in the models.py file we have three separate attributes for Razorpay order id, and I told you, and in the I think second or third video I will going to explain you this. Okay, so we will store the order id of Razorpay, then we will store payment id of that Razorpay, and we will store Razorpay signature, which is basically these. What are these actually? These are IDs of confirmation of that payment has been successfully completed. And actually the Razorpay returns the response including this IDs, right? And we need to store this for the confirmation, for the sake of our simplicity and for confirmation purpose that order has been placed very successfully, right? So payment has been done. Okay, now let's go to the views.py file again. Then we will store that Razorpay id in our order.Razorpay id. Then we will call that save function again. Then this is the most important part here. What I am going to do, I am rendering the obviously it will take request, and I am creating one page, HTML page, payment summary Razorpay HTML page, where we will have one button. By clicking on that button, they have given one options of that. When the user will click on that button, they will open one pop-up of some their display, their UI. Okay, so then we will do the rest of the payment process, and after clicking yes and no, they will send the response. Okay, that's what we want actually. So here what we are doing, we are just rendering the payment summary Razorpay HTML page. You can name it as anything, okay, that doesn't matter actually. And then we will pass context dictionary. So these values we have to pass, and I will show you why we need these values. So we will have order, we will pass the order object, then we will pass order id, then we will pass order id. See, this order id is basically Razorpay id that it has generated for by default, right? Then we are giving the order id of order itself while creating the order. Whichever the order id which was generated, we are passing by order id. Then we are just passing the final price, and we are passing the Razorpay merchant id, which is settings.Razorpay id, right? Razorpay id. Now this should work actually. Okay, so error is not here, and except if order object does not exist, then we will directly return some response, or we can redirect the user to the order list page. Now this is what we can do here. Now let's go to the payment summary Razorpay HTML page. I have written some basic code. Now what we need to do, in the urls.py file that we have configured earlier, so payment, let's copy this, and in the I think checkout address.html page, we haven't written here any URL, right? So we need to pass one URL here. So URL will be URL, and here we need to pass that URL. So by clicking on that particular link, the user will be directed to the payment page, that is the payment summary Razorpay HTML page. Okay, so here what I am going to do, we were checking all these things. We have breadcrumbs here, then portfolio details basically. Okay, so payment summary, we have total amount and final price. Okay, now let's try to run the what we have done earlier. So let's go to the localhost and let's click on cart, then proceed to checkout. It must go to it must give us link. After clicking this, checkout object has no attribute zip. Okay, so where is that error? Address.zip, actually we need to call in the views.py file. Where is that order.zip? Order.zip, sorry, it was zip code actually. Order.zip code was there. Okay, let's save and run this. Okay, let's reload this. Template does not exist. I think we need to pass core slash, right? So we need to pass core slash. Now this should work. Let's reload that. Okay, so reverse for handle request. Here what we need to do, in the documentation they have given, after doing this, in the part second, the standard automatic checkout method provides a default Razorpay pay with Razorpay button that invokes the checkout form. The checkout form options are passed as the data attributes inside a script tag. You can add any additional hidden or visible fields to the form, which will be submitted along with the form. And they have given one basically a form with some script, right? This is a script. Now what we need to do here, okay, so we have passed Razorpay from the views.py file. We have passed Razorpay merchant ID, and which is settings.razorpay ID basically, and we are just grabbing that value, okay, like in the form of template tagging method. So key will be this. Okay, so what amount is basically, we were just passing here in the views.py file, we were passing this, or we were getting the order amount with get total price, okay, and here we were multiplying amount and by 100, that I have explained you earlier, because of paise and Indian format, Indian rupees, right? So this is basically, and we were not storing or sending this data into the actually that payment Razorpay HTML page, okay. For that we were just passing final price as order amount, therefore we need to multiply here also. So this is the way of multiplying the any value, right? So here I have template tagging methods of width ratio. This is final price. So what it will return, basically it will return the value final price that we have got by in the views.py file. Here final price, so order amount, which is basically order.get total price into 100, so it will multiply by 100, and that's what we want here. So amount is in currency subunits, so default currency is INR, hence 50,000 refers to the 50,000 paise, and for that we need to multiply by 100 to get into rupees, okay. And here currency is INR basically. Name is you can name as anything, so let's suppose name is R my e-commerce website, right? And then we have test description. This is not mandatory, you can give anything. So order ID will be equal to order ID, which is basically Razorpay order ID, which it has generated, okay. So it will they will basically compare of everything is working fine or not. And callback URL basically is, we need to handle the request or the post data sent by the Razorpay, right? We need to handle that. They will send some response data, right, having some order ID or payment successful or not, failed, all these details, right? So we need to handle that URLs in our views.py file basically, okay. So that's why we have written handle request one URL. So we will going to create this URL. So let's create that. So in the urls.py file I will create one URL. Here we will have that handle request, so views.handle request, and name will be also equal to handle request here, okay. So we will write it's in the views.py file. So here what we will have, def handle request, which will take request, and here I have written this basically previously in the course. Let's go to the views.py file. I am opening with notepad. So which data should be take, so to avoid some confusions there, so that's why I have written that thing already. I am just going to explain you for this, okay. So this was the handle request method. Here why I have written the CSRF exempt. Basically in the forms.py file we were writing that CSRF token. So what it does actually, it does not allow you or allow someone to send data to your website or make post request to your website. So that's why. But what Razorpay does, it's opposite of this. It sends the post data to our website and we need to handle that data, right? And for that we are using CSRF exempt. Basically what it does, let's copy this, let's search for this. Okay, so what CSRF exempt does, basically it disables the CSRF working policy, okay. So here when you make a request via form, you want the forms being submitted to your view to originate from your website and not come from other domain. Okay, so that's why I have explained you. Okay, just save that. It should work. Okay, so CSRF exempt is working basically, and I am going to explain you this. Okay, so we will check if request.method equal to post. Okay, so they Razorpay will send post data, so that's why we were checking if request.method equal to post, then do these things. Else in the let's go to the bottom. Okay, let's remove this, we don't want actually. Try accept. Okay, these things also we don't want. Okay, here also. Okay, so we were checking if request.method equal to post, and then we will do this. Else we don't want to do that anything, right? We will not do anything. We will just check if request.method equal to post, then execute this. Otherwise don't do anything, right? So here, so this handle request will only be used for taking the data from the Razorpay dashboard, right? So here we will get the payment ID. So what Django, let's go to the Razorpay docs. So what it does actually, only successful authorizations are auto submitted. For each successful payment, the checkout returns the following. So it returns the Razorpay payment ID, Razorpay order ID, and Razorpay signature. So we need to grab that data, right? So payment ID will be equal to request.post.get Razorpay payment ID. Then we will have order ID equal to request.post.get Razorpay order ID. Then we will have signature, which will we will have request.post.get Razorpay signature. Okay, so I have used same variable name that they have given here, and we will just check for confirmation. I am just printing here, so you can print here, or you don't have to do this, right? Then I am creating dictionary. So param dix equal to, I am named it, so parameter dix equal to, so Razorpay order ID equal to order ID, similarly payment ID and signature. Okay, after that I am getting that order object. Okay, so order db equal to order.objects.get Razorpay order ID equal to order ID. So now in this thing we are grabbing the order, the particular order object by its ID. Okay, and I have written this print for just checking if order is found or not. Then we will accept that print order not found, return HTTP response. Okay, 505 not found. Then we are grabbing the order db dot Razorpay payment ID equal to payment ID. We are just storing the payment ID and signature into the order model or into the order table, right? And we are just saving the order, right? So in the models.py file, where is that? Okay, so we are just checking, we were initializing this order ID in the views.py file. So this payment ID and signature we will receive from where is that, views. We will save here. Okay, by successful payment of that particular order by Razorpay. Okay, so I have written this for just checking if everything is working fine or not. Then here result equal to Razorpay client.utility. So this is a basically function, and it verify payment signature paramdix. Okay, so it verifies whether everything work fine or not. So, and if result equal to none, then we can say that the payment has been successfully completed. So we will grab the amount equal to order db get total price, then amount we will multiply by 100 as I have explained you earlier, and we will check payment status equal to Razorpay client.payment.capture payment ID equal to amount. Basically it will get all the data of the particular order or a particular payment with payment ID and amount. Okay, and I have checking if payment status is not none. Okay, so if it is not none, then print, I have just printing the payment status for simplicity purpose. Then we will store order db dot ordered equal to true. Okay, we were doing ordered equal to false basically in every code of this project. At this part we will store, after getting successful data of that particular user from the Razorpay dashboard, then we will save order db dot ordered equal to true. Okay, so that object is ordered, and do rest of the things. Okay, and we will just saving, we are just saving this order dot save method. Okay, so request or request dot session basically to notify the user in the home page. This is, and we were just returning the with invoice.html, so where the invoice is generated. Else if payment status is not none, so we were just not doing the order equal to false, then we were just saving, and we were just order failed. Basically, if this payment status is not one, that means that your order has not been completed for some reasons. Okay, here after that we were just checking if result equal to none, then also order.db sorry, that order db will be equal to false, then we will save and we will return payment failed.html. Okay, so these two HTML files we will create. So core slash invoice.html, here core slash payment failed.html. So it will basically, after payment success, it will redirect to the payment success page, and if it fails, then it will direct to the payment failed. We are actually handling request. And similarly, let's go to the HTML payment Razorpay HTML page. Here we are just pre-filling. Pre-fill basically what it does, by clicking on that button, this data is actually written there, pre-written there. Okay, that's what it means. So name will be equal to request.user.username, email will be equal to request.user.email, contact will be equal to +91, and all these things. Okay, and theme I have chosen this color, you can choose anything. Okay, so that's why hovering in the Visual Studio Code, you can do anything. Let's choose orange color. Okay, and we are just creating one variable Razorpay1 equal to new Razorpay with these options. Okay, these options we are just it is basically a class, we are just passing that object, and we are just calling document get element id. So this is Razorpay button id equal to Razorpay button. I have given one id, and it basically on click the form will open, and we can do rest of the things. Now let's see if this thing works or not. We have talked so much, let's see if it works properly or not. It must work, yeah, it must work. Okay, so payment summary, total amount is 10,000. Okay, so total amount is 10,000. Let's see, total amount was 10,000. Actually it has given us error. Why? Okay, we will see this. Okay, that doesn't matter actually. Okay, so let's go to the checkout process, go for payment, and when we click on pay now, it should work. Hey, it worked actually. It works. I will write my phone number. I think phone number didn't came there. Why? Okay, we will handle this thing, that doesn't matter for now. We will handle this thing. Phone number is not here, coming here, but we can name it as anything, and actually it sends some messages. Okay, so I am just writing error fake number, and when we click on proceed, it is giving it has given it detected, and we have all these options. So net banking, card, UPI, net banking, wallet, all the, and they have also given some test keys. Okay, for checking, for verifying. So we have MasterCard, we have this card number. Okay, so for simplicity, we are just passing net banking. Let's pay 2,000, and this is basically their sample page where welcome to Razorpay. This is just demo blank page, and after clicking on success, it should work. Okay, so by clicking on success, payment successful, and HTTP responses, we will handle this thing. So we have not completed yet in the payment, we have just closed this thing. So here HTTP response, so we need to import this at the top, django.http import HTTP response. Okay, I know it is more complicated, but the more you will try these things, you will get all these things very properly. And no matter how to which website or to which web app you are applying this to, you are adding this, then you will not face any problem here. They have some different docs, but their method of accessing or adding the feature to the website is not very hard, and I found this Razorpay very secure and very simple for use, right? and that's what we want. I was just handling this. I will just handle this request, and we will write this core invoice.html or core payment field in the next video. Okay, so we have done most of the things. Okay, so what we have done most of the things. We will handle this request. Okay, so don't worry about this, we will handle this. Okay, sir, as you can see here, your cart is empty basically. That means why it is not shown? Can you guess this? Okay, it is not shown because we are grabbing that ordered equal to false, and here in the views.py file, where is that? Here is the views.py file, and in the order list, where is the order list? Okay, here was the order list, and we were just grabbing the objects which have ordered equal to false, right? And as a payment is successful in the views.py file, here we changed the ordered value equal to true here if the status is true, right? So that means here I think it has printed. Here we were printing these things. Okay, we were printing. I think it has printed the values. Let's see if it has done or not. Maybe it has printed the value. I think so. It should be okay. As you can see here, it has printed this, so working fine. So it has given one ID. So this is the actually returned message or returned data that the server or the Razorpay server sent to us. Okay, so ID has payment entity equal to payment amount equal to 100,000, as you can see here, which is in paise. Okay, currency equal to INR, status is captured, order ID equal to order, all these things, invoice ID is none, international false, all these things, method net banking, amount refunded 0, and all these details. Alright, it has grabbed the straight address and all these things also. Okay, so this is what we need to do in this particular video. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you really like this video, then do share to your friends, subscribe to my channel, and if you have any doubts regarding this, then do comment below. Right, I'll see you in next video.